Good morning, students. Welcome to English literature class. Let's begin the class with a school prayer.
O God, infinite wisdom, the source of all knowledge, bless all of us, bless our school, bless our country and its leaders. Good God, bless our parents, students, and teachers. Almighty God, we beseech you, enlighten our minds, strengthen our memories, and make all of us good and loving children. Amen. So dear students, in the previous video lesson, we have done the revision of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1, the measure of my powers, and chapter 2, God is a chef. In chapter 1, we have seen how the writer's well meaning attempt to look after her mother after her baby brother was born turned into a nightmare. Of course, the food that she cooked was her first culinary experience, which made her mother to break out in rashes. Later on, though she improved by reading books and experimenting in the kitchen, she was not above messing up. It means that she continues doing some mistakes in cooking. The author also narrates an incident where she forced her sister to eat a sauce with such a high amount of curry powder in it. And because of that, she got blisters inside her lips. And towards the end of the passage, we come to know how the author's family moved into the country after her grandmother died and how that changed the kind of food they used to have. In chapter 2, God is a chef, in that we have read about poet's imagination of a heavenly kitchen where God mixes various qualities like enthusiasm, cheer, sincerity, courtesy, inspiration, wisdom, and tender care to make an outstanding person like you. And in chapter 3, The Postmaster, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore, that tells us about an unlikely friendship between a little girl and a postmaster. We have also read that the postmaster had been transferred to a small village, Ullaipur, from Calcutta. Here, the English businessman, who is the owner of the indigo factory, had established a post office. Mostly, the village is occupied by the indigo factory employees who had no leisure time. Leisure means free time, and even the postmaster does not feel comfortable in their company. The postmaster was not skilled in the art of associating with others, and that is the reason he appeared either proud or we find him uncomfortable among strangers. But there was an orphan girl named Ratan who did odd jobs for him. Ratan calls him Dada. In Bengali, Dada means elder brother. We have also read how these two characters of the story talk to each other about their old memories. Ratan didn't remember her mother, but she had a vivid picture of her father. She also remembers how she used to play with her brother with a twig, believing it as a fishing rod at fishing. Very often, their conversation would go on till it was very late to cook. At that time, Ratan light the fire and toast some bread and she shared it with the postmaster with the cold remnants of the morning meal. One afternoon, the postmaster was watching the freshly washed leaves and the moving back rain clouds. He was thinking to himself and was missing his family. The postmaster sighed and called out Ratan. Ratan was laying under the guava tree, stretching her arms and legs out, and she was busy eating unripe guavas. When she heard her master's voice, she ran breathlessly towards his house. When she inquired about the reason of her calling to Dada, that is to the postmaster, he told her that he wants to teach her how to read. Ratan took up her worn out book and slowly entered the room. But she found her master. Who is her master? The postmaster was resting on his bed, and she tried to go away from there without making any noise. But suddenly she heard her name, Ratan. She turned at once and asked, "Were you sleeping, Dada?" The postmaster, in a plaintive voice, said, "I am not well. Feel my head. It is very hot." In the loneliness of his exile and in the gloom of the rains, his ailing body needed a little tender nursing. He longed to remember the touch on the forehead of soft hands, to imagine the presence of a mother and sister. Here the postmaster replied her in a sad tone, saying that he was not well, and asked her to touch his head. It was very hot. So, what does this mean? It means that the postmaster is suffering from fever. As the postmaster is away from his family and staying in a remote village, he is in need of someone's care because at present the weather was cloudy and it was raining also. So all this situation makes him to remember the touch on the forehead of soft hands. He also imagines the presence of a mother and sister. Ratan thinks herself as one of his family members, so she stepped into that role. She called in the village doctor, gave him his pills at the proper intervals. She also sat up all night by his pillow. She cooked gruel for him. What is a gruel? Gruel is a food made by boiling crushed grain in water or milk. And frequently Ratan inquires about his well-being. So this much is enough for today's video lesson. The remaining part of the chapter we will finish in the next video lesson. Till then, take care and have a nice time.